Okay, folks, for those of you guys who are out of class today, what we ended up doing was the foundation to either our monsters or, if you're in 8th grade, our lawn gnomes. So the foundation of both of these products are going to be a double pinch pot put together, and from there you can build off all of your fabulous details. All right? So what happens is you need to get yourself a chunk of clay that's roughly the size of a grapefruit, and you're going to pack the clay so that it's a nice sphere. It doesn't have to be perfect. You do want to get some of the air bubbles out. All right, and kind of knock it into a nice orb. From here, it's always good to have a handful of essential tools. Things like modeling tools, pin tools, paintbrushes, knife tools, things like that. And even just a little bit of cup of water. So from here, what you're going to do is I like to take the knife tool and cut the large sphere in half. That way, making our two pinch pots is going to be way easier because they are roughly the same size. If one looks larger than the other, you can definitely tell that they're equal by how much they weigh. All right, so what happens is your first pinch pot, you want to take your thumb, you want to cradle the second half in your hand. If you do it on the table, you're going to have a flat bottom to either your lawn gnome or your monster. So what happens is you jam your thumb in there, but you don't want to poke all the way through because otherwise it's not going to be a pot or a bowl. Turn it in your hand and pinch the sides, hence the name pinch pot. And you want to squeeze the sides so that you have an equal thickness around all the sides. So you don't want to have it too fat on one side and too skinny on the other. You want to have it the same all around. And you still want it to have its shaping held. So if the walls are so thin that it's fallen over, consolidate your clay, start over again. So right now, I have one good one. I'm not a robot. I'm not going to make the second one exactly like the first one, but you want to eyeball it so it looks kind of the same, very similar. Same process. Put your thumb in there and determine the depth of your bowl. Pinch the sides. All right. And from here, this looks pretty good. This looks like they're going to match up nicely. So anytime you go to put something attached onto your object or you're putting two pieces together, you need to make sure that you're scoring the rims. Now scoring kind of acts like a suction between the two halves, especially when we add water to it. So all you're doing is you're roughing up the edge here on both sides. All right, and then, this is why you always want to have a little cup of water. Add some moisture in there. The reason why you add water is because it kind of makes its own slip in between the nooks and crannies. And when you put them together, there's a small suction that happens. There's some really great slip that's being developed between the scoring and the moisture. And there's a natural seal that happens. With the modeling tool, I prefer something that looks like a potter's thumb or even another one that looks like a butter knife. Both of these are going to get the job done for you. But you need to seal that crease up. But you don't want to crush it because it is hollow. So it's kind of like one of those hollow Easter eggs you find where you can crack it in half and there's money or candy inside. You want to make sure, like I said, do not let it collapse on itself, but you do want to seal the crease. And from here, you can kind of remold it into a really nice hollow egg. And again, you don't want to add so much moisture to this thing that it turns into like a greased watermelon or bar soap. You want to just add a little bit of moisture and smooth out those cracks and crevices or nooks and crannies so it's a really nice, seamless egg. And from here, you can build off of it.